Do you know what animal can sleep for 3 years without eating? Neither did I until I started hosting 5 daily trivia questions. Hi, I'm Mark Ellison. Every weekday, I'll challenge you with 5 brain-bending questions spanning history, pop culture, science, and more. Perfect for your morning commute or lunch break. 5 daily trivia questions. And by the way, it's the snail that can sleep for 3 years. 5 daily trivia questions wherever you get your shows.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Pope Leo XIV welcomed America's Vice President JD Vance to a private audience at Vatican City this Monday morning, marking their first face-to-face encounter since the pontiff's elevation to the papacy. The timing proves significant, as just days earlier, Leo had proposed the Catholic Church's mediating role in worldwide conflicts, specifically mentioning the Ukraine-Russia situation, according to his deputy. Prior to today's meeting, both Leo and Vance had conducted separate private sessions with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky following Sunday's papal inauguration ceremony. This is white smoke. After concluding discussions with the Pope, Vance proceeded to meet Archbishop Paul Tagle, who oversees Vatican foreign affairs. The Vatican press office later characterized these talks as cordial, with successful reinforcement of positive bilateral relations. Their official statement noted, various perspectives were shared regarding contemporary international challenges, emphasizing the importance of respecting humanitarian and international legal frameworks in conflict zones while advocating for negotiated resolutions between involved parties. This meeting has sparked optimism among American conservatives who anticipate potential improvements in their relationship with the Holy See. The previous years saw frequent tensions with Leo's predecessor Francis, who once described certain positions held by President Trump as incompatible with Christian values. Francis regularly opposed Republican policy priorities, especially regarding border security, throughout both Trump administrations, while finding common ground with Democrats on environmental initiatives and diplomatic arrangements like the Iran nuclear agreement. Though considered moderate in his approach, Leo seemingly shares numerous viewpoints with his predecessor and allegedly criticized Vance's theological positions and strict immigration stance through a since-removed social media account bearing his name. However, the new pontiff has consistently emphasized unity as a central theme during his early papacy, including during Sunday's installation mass. Several conservative American Catholics have identified potential areas of agreement with Leo, particularly appreciating his missionary perspective and practical administrative approach. In a gesture of goodwill, Vance presented Leo with a Chicago Bears jersey, custom printed with Pope Leo and 14 in Roman numerals on the back. Additionally, recognizing the Pope's background as a former leader within the Order of St. Augustine, the Vice President gifted him St. Augustine's philosophical masterwork, City of God, from the 5th century, a text that significantly influenced Vance's own journey to Catholicism in 2019. The papal meeting began as a private conversation between Leo and Vance in the Apostolic Palace, before expanding to include Secretary of State Marco Rubio, followed by their respective spouses and the complete American delegation, according to Vance's spokesperson. During subsequent discussions with Archbishop Tagle, topics included partnership opportunities between religious and governmental institutions, alongside matters particularly relevant to church activities and religious freedom protections. As stated in the Vatican's official communication, just weeks ago on Easter Sunday, Vance had met with Francis, who had previously openly questioned the Vice President's interpretations of compassion and immigration-related theology. The political landscape surrounding White House-Vatican relations has evolved rapidly in recent weeks. During Leo's inauguration ceremony, the Pope's eldest brother Louis Prevost, a Florida resident who self-identifies as a MAGA supporter, was seated directly beside Second Lady Usha Vance. Pope Leo has reinforced traditional Catholic doctrine regarding marriage, stating that it is founded on the stable union between a man and a woman. The pontiff delivered his first major address as Pope during a private audience with the Vatican's diplomatic corps on Friday. In his remarks, he emphasized the inherent dignity of vulnerable populations, including the unborn, elderly, and immigrants. It is the responsibility of government leaders to work to build harmonious and peaceful civil societies, the Pope declared. This can be achieved above all by investing in the family, founded upon the stable union between a man and a woman. While Pope Francis also maintained the Church's position against same-sex marriage, conservatives had criticized the late pontiff for creating confusion among the faithful by adopting a more welcoming approach toward LGBTQ individuals and approving blessings for people in same-sex relationships. Leo reaffirmed the Church's stance against abortion, advocated for protection of religious freedom, and committed to continuing interfaith dialogue. No one is exempted from striving to ensure respect for the dignity of every person, especially the most frail and vulnerable, from the unborn to the elderly, from the sick to the unemployed, citizens and immigrants alike, Leo XIV stated. In highlighting dignity for immigrants, Pope Leo XIV referenced his own family history of immigration to the United States. "My own story is that of a citizen, the descendant of immigrants, who in turn chose to emigrate. All of us, in the course of our lives, can find ourselves healthy or sick, employed or unemployed, living in our native land or in a foreign country, yet our dignity always remains unchanged. It is the dignity of a creature willed and loved by God," he added. The Pope's personal heritage includes a father of French and Italian descent and a mother of Spanish ancestry. Leo urged attendees to keep three essential concepts in mind: peace, justice, and truth, describing them as pillars of the Church's missionary activity and the Holy See's diplomatic goals. Truth, he explained, does not create division, but rather enables us to confront all the more resolutely the challenges of our time, such as migration, the ethical use of artificial intelligence, and the protection of our beloved planet Earth. These are challenges that require commitment and cooperation on the part of all, since no one can think of facing them alone, the pontiff concluded. Over a decade ago, when Pope Leo XIV was simply Father Robert Prevost, he performed a wedding ceremony that would later gain extraordinary significance. The then priest married Chicago couple Heather Schmidt-Jarrock and Dominic Jarrock on July 19, 2014, at St. Rita of Cassia Shrine Chapel. Father Bob, as the couple knew him, made an incredible effort to officiate their wedding. As a favour to Heather's late father Ed Schmidt, the future pontiff flew from Peru that morning, specifically to conduct the ceremony, then immediately departed afterward to continue his missionary work in South America. The couple learned about Pope Leo's election while camping when Heather's sister Heidi called with the stunning news. Initially dismissive, thinking it was just routine papal election news, Heather planned to catch up later. However, when her phone kept ringing, she answered to hear her sister's excited announcement, "We got a pope! And it's Father Bob!" Both Heather and Dominic began crying immediately upon hearing the news. Heather's father had kept the wedding officiant's identity secret, telling her only that he had a surprise about who would marry them. Approximately 75 family and friends witnessed the ceremony when Father Bob walked through the chapel door to preside over their wedding. The couple still becomes emotional discussing the moment. Heather expresses bittersweet feelings, wishing her father could witness this historic development, as Father Bob was one of his close friends. Dominic remains amazed by the extraordinary circumstances. "What are the odds? It's like 1 in a million. I can say that I got married by the Pope," he marvels. His only regret is that Father Bob couldn't stay for the reception, joking about potentially having cocktails with the future Pope.
There's always something brewing behind palace walls, whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making headlines from afar, or Prince William and Princess Catherine quietly preparing for the future throne. I'm Mark Francis, and on Palace Intrigue, we cover every twist, turn, whisper, and wink. From royal drama to daily gossip, follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts.